Hello, we're Ian and Jane. We're doing the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, day 5, show 3. This was, we've just been discussing, we don't quite know how we found this show, but this is a show called Skyscraping. I think we were probably sent an email. I mean, what happens at the Fringe is that you get bombarded with emails about come and see my show, which is lovely, but obviously you can't see everything that's here.
Because you go through certain sections and you highlight things, but you miss things. So it's because we were just looking at the main program and I haven't highlighted it at all, but we remember having a conversation about it. So
so you're going to say about
I'm going to
just
read.
sorry, just before we actually get into the actual thing, it is worth mentioning that where this venue is, there isn't a sign outside saying it's a venue, because there's normally a great big sign saying it's a Fringe venue number whatever. You'd been there more than me, so we were able to find it fairly easily. But and Google Maps would take you wrong because it would have taken me wrong.
Ian was going around the back, and I said, "Well,
I looked around the
not."
back and I couldn't see anything down there.
I mean, when you get to the building and you look in, because it's in a row of terraces, you can see the number.
Yeah,
and it has got some sort of stickers around the entrance.
Yeah,
but it isn't.
It isn't as obvious. So be careful about that if you want to go and see this show, because I think it's worth seeing, or we think it's worth seeing with you anyway.
So it's by the Wistful Company. This is what was written in the program, and then I'm going to read you what was in the. Anyway, it's a bigger description. So it says, our brand new production tells a light-hearted story about Jack, a Cockney lamplighter, discovering London-based poets from across the ages for the first time. And it's in spoken word, and it's physical theatre and performance art. Anyway, so blending poetry, performance, and storytelling, this inventive show follows Jack, blah, 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 from the 14th century to today's estates and train stations. Jack's whimsical night walk along Westminster Bridge becomes a joyful journey through the city's literary past, featuring both celebrated and overlooked voices like Wordsworth and Isabella Whitney. With rhythm, humour, and heart, Skyscraping transforms poetry into a vivid, accessible spectacle. Returning cast from the Wistful Company's acclaimed 2022 debut are joined by fresh talent, breathing life into a coming-of-age tale. This is poetry without pretension, absurd, moving, and unforgettable. Experience London in a whole new light during the first 2 weeks of the Fringe, 2025. Don't miss this original celebration of London's language.
I wouldn't normally pick poetry.
No.
But I absolutely, I mean, it's a small cast. There are 4 of them. There's 4 of them. There's Jack and then another 3 members of the cast. Everybody is excellent. I mean, they're a young cast. And I mean, I didn't know all of the poets who they were.
No, I didn't.
And it wasn't just them reciting. They turned it into something else. The only one I really knew was the Chaucer at the beginning, because I used it on an album.
And I didn't recognise it. And Ian whispers to me, it's Chaucer. I thought, oh gosh, of course it's
Chaucer, and it's Canterbury Tales, because they talk about Canterbury in it. But
yes,
if
they
you
do,
didn't really know that, and I only knew it, because like I said, I'd used it on an album, and I knew exactly the passage they were using. And it's a brilliant reinvention of it. It wasn't, it was really, really great. But I just thought the whole thing was stunning.
So did I. I mean, and I'm sort of surprised by that, but I found it a glorious representation of language, which I know they say definitely. That, but I came out thinking that because, okay, you didn't understand most of the Chaucer, but it sort of made sense.
You didn't really need to, did you?
And even then, when you had, poetry later on in, let's say, the recognisable English of today, you didn't need to know the poet, because I was starting to think, oh gosh, I don't know who this is. But then I relaxed and I thought, no, it doesn't matter, because the way it was being delivered, you could just enjoy the language. The fact that it was language.
Yeah.
It wasn't, nobody was standing up and reading it as a poem.
No.
It was being delivered it could be in a very physical way.
Yeah.
It could be done that they did one bit where it was a director trying to direct somebody and getting her to try it in different ways, and she was getting angry with him. So she was shouting some of it, she was whispering some of it. She got quite emotional about some of it. But the fact that you didn't know what the poem was, I mean, yes, obviously, if you did, then you
that's a bonus, but it's not. It really isn't necessary.
But it really didn't matter. No. And they were so creative.
Yeah, and it's all linked by a Jack, the lamplighter.
And he's fantastic.
He was absolutely super. So he's on stage the whole time, and the rest of the cast are coming and going. With, and you're told right at the beginning there are 7 poems, and I sort of started to count them, but then after a while I just stopped because I was just enjoying it so much that it didn't matter that I know it doesn't matter. It was going to be 7.
And what I liked was there's a sort of mystical air because he's of that generation, sort of the 19th century when he lit lamps when there were gas.
From Whitechapel, and he had a great accent.
And he really was that Cockney character.
He was,
and he was this constant.
Yeah.
So you had different, times coming through, modern day, like Chaucer, and he just took it in his stride.
He did, yeah.
And had a sort of some kind of relationship, some bigger, some smaller, with each of the characters when they came out. But then the last scene, because I thought, how are they going to end this? They're not going to just sort of stop. And it was just Jack and his mum. That's all I'm going to say.
It was lovely.
And it was, I sat there because it was the most poignant scene and I felt quite emotional about it. And I thought that is a beautiful end to something which was very hard to describe, but you got completely sucked. And that's, I want to say something more beautiful, sucked into it isn't right.
No, I know what you mean.
But you were absorbed. Yeah. You were absorbed by it. That's a better word. You were absorbed.
Absolutely, yeah. Now, I
loved it.
Annoyingly, it was quite a small audience. Yeah. And today's a 2-for-1 day, so people, if people have gone as a couple, it's half price. They really do deserve a much bigger audience.
They do.
I think it was seated about 40. I think there's about 20 now, and I counted.
I hope so. I don't know.
I had try to have a quick look around. It deserves to be full. It deserves to sell out because it's real. I mean, I don't normally do poetry, but I thought the way that this was reinvented, and it's all about the language and it's all about the physicality of what they were doing as a company. I mean, I'd like to see them do other things.
Absolutely. I mean, they're on our radar now.
Yeah, exactly. We've said that before with other, but we will come and see other things that they do. Yeah. I just thought it was stunning.
Yeah,
absolutely stunning.
I loved it. Yeah. It's just one of those, discoveries.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which we love making.
And we would. This is exactly what the Fringe is about. Yeah. We would not have. I mean, we would not have discovered this had it not been for the email, and then you looking and saying, "Oh, this sounds interesting," and then me booking some tickets, which I only did yesterday. We managed to have a capacity today to actually go and fit it in. Yeah. So when's it on?
It is on. So it is at the Braw venues, which is Hill Street, Alba Theatre. So I'm going to say it's venue 41. Yeah. So look it up on the map.
Yeah.
And it is on now until Thursday the 14th. So it's a week on Thursday.
So it's a shortish
run, but you've got a week. There is a week to see
definitely worth seeing.
Yeah. So it is on at 4:35 in the afternoon for an hour, and it is £12. And it's well worth it.
Absolutely.
Well worth it. I think that's all we need to say about that.
I'm going to give it 5 stars.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 5.
I was hoping you would because I just thought it was amazing.
I think it's very special.
I think it's very special too. Yeah. Please go see it. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah. One more to do today.
Yep.
And we'll see you shortly.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.